In the news tonight, school teacher perishes in Portmore on fire.
He's a very good person, you know. I mean, he get a little bad thing, you know, I can't say, but this, he never showed none of his brothers in a bad face.
And Housing Minister says ministry on pace for 50,000 house lot allocation in 5 years.
We have maintained over the last 3 years a consistent 40% allocation to women only.
An investigation was launched by the Guyana Fire Service following a massive fire last night which claimed the life of 43-year-old quarantine school teacher, Tukant Diosuran. The Guyana Fire Service in a press statement early this morning said it was alerted to a fire at approximately 10:17 hours on Tuesday at Manager's Quarters, Port Moran, Quarantine, Berbice. Upon arrival, firefighters observed 2 buildings were fully engulfed in flames and smoke. The building of origin of the fire was a 1-story wooden and concrete house owned by 43-year-old Asti Diosuran of the United States, and at the time it was occupied by 43-year-old Tukant Diosuran. As a result of the fire, Diosuran perished while the contents and the building destroyed in the blaze. Also destroyed was a 2-story wooden and concrete house located in the same compound and in close proximity to the building of origin, a house owned and occupied by 75-year-old pensioner Amina Bacchus was destroyed, leaving her homeless.
My yard, come and tell me, bell, drive past the Dobby house and we can't get a fire, that this was so sick. So I just let me that and create, and I come with a truck, me that my son let him go with the next year. This house was actually about half feet on fire. The fire attendant them keep soaking this place where they can save that house. But everybody, I had to go and use some FNS last night and they want to pull the hose. They have a rope come on the side and start soak the house. But we think that the house will start getting fire ready. The fires with the house and everything might be to over 25 million or more.
It was fully furnished?
Furnished, fully furnished.
So she lived there alone?
Yeah. Well, I actually normal check she. Because I been trucks and pack on here some morning to call from she. Grandmother, everybody knows she grandmother. Me had the car she mommy.
Where is she now? She's with you?
No, she that's my next brother at number 1. We bought this house in 1972. We was living in Free Yard. And then when my father bought this house in Kunaprasi. And like a few years after, then the man come here. And by this place. So I know Dobby, and he wants his slash teeth from small baby. They actually grow with me.
How would you describe, sir, what kind of person he was and stuff?
He's a very good person, you know. I mean, he get a little bad thing, you know, I can't say, but this, he never showed none of his brothers in a bad face.
He used to keep lessons and stuff here?
Yes, and I think he also was teaching at Islamic
Okay.
school.
The fire service, according to its statement, managed to contain the blaze and extinguish the fire which destroyed the 3 buildings. Further, the release said investigators attached to the service will continue their investigation to determine the exact cause of the blaze. The fire service is again calling on citizens to equip their properties with fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, and smoke alarms as a means of safeguarding their properties in the event of a fire.
Drink and taste, you will never decline. Extra lemon and lime. It's the 2 combined. It's one of a kind. Extra lemon and lime. Extra lemon and lime. Taste the citrus in every sip.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2023 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more is eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted a preliminary list of electors, PLE, at popular locations in all the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether your particulars or that of other electors are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Monday, the 22nd of January 2024. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
I am Avinash Narayan.
First met Avinash through one of my friends, and it was an instant meeting between two souls.
Crystal is a genuine person. She loves fashion.
He's one of those souls that once you meet him, it's hard not to love him.
My grandmother, my mother, and her eldest sister, they were seamstresses. And I guess that's where my inspiration came from. It was very hard for me coming out to my family. Back then, being gay wasn't accepted. There is still a lot of stigma and discrimination attached to us. But at the end of the day, I'm human just like you are.
It's important for me to be an ally on such an important topic because he's my friend. He's also a human being, and everybody needs support.
Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, said her government is on target to reach the 50,000 house lots allocation from 2020 to 2025. Speaking at the ministry's end-of-year press conference at the Arthur Chung Conference Center today, the minister said some 28,368 residential house lots have been allocated over the past 3 years. She noted that with the inclusion of the other categories such as residential, commercial, religious, and open public spaces, the total is over 30,000 lots.
We have maintained over the last 3 years a consistent 40% allocation to women only. So I believe this year is about 2023, it was about 43%, and that has been consistent. And by income, when you examine the allocations by income, a combined low, moderate, and middle income lots accounting for 92% of our total allocations over the last 3 years. So that is significant, and that is in keeping also with the objective of the housing program. That is to ensure that affordable housing is provided.
Minister of Housing Colin Crowell said the ministry has been targeting 2019 and prior.
We have been targeting 2019 and prior. That is our target we are on now. However, what we found after those announcements, you had persons turning up demanding that who were before 2019 to be allocated. The fact is, though, it has to be matched on availability of land. So, for example, our recent allocations within the last year or year and a half for Region 4 has been East Coast. That is because East Bank of Demerara, we have allocated or we have reached to the saturation point of our available land on the East Bank of Demerara. So all the allocations that you've been seeing ongoing are on East Coast, for East Coast of Demerara lands. So that must be taken into context. And similarly, Region 3, because of where the heavy or pending applicants are between Region 3 and 4, that's where we have responded by region to our applicants.
He noted that while the mandate was to ensure house lot allocation, his ministry has invested over $8 billion on completed houses.
We have invested over $8 billion if you quantify the houses that have been completed. I am speaking therefore of over 1,165 completed houses in various brackets. So for example, again, let me give you the scenario. Our highest completed bracket for houses, as you would expect, is the low income. 580. The next category, moderate income, 370. And despite all the requests and the glamour and the news we see, completed young professionals to date is at 89. So do the comparison and we'll understand. And then under the adequate housing, which we'll speak a few minutes, we have completed 82 of the courthouse program. And that does not take into consideration our ongoing hinterland program.
I'm Anshul. I'm the manager over here at Brooklyn Institute of Vocational Training. We provide home health aid training here. For that, we have flexible classes, which includes morning, evening, and the weekend class. You can choose any class, whichever is convenient for you. Also, this career is now at the peak. This career pay rate increases from 1909 till up to 2109 now. I speak different languages, which includes Hindi, Punjabi, Urdu, Bangla, and our certificate is recognized all over the New York because we are licensed from Board of Education. Once you graduated from our school, you can work with any agency anywhere in New York. Our address is 110-05 Liberty Avenue, Queens. Guys, I know the name is Brooklyn Institute, but we are located in Queens. I repeat the address, 110-05 Liberty Avenue, Queens. 11419 is our zip code, and my number is 929-386-0092. If you have any questions, you can always call me and I will be happy to answer all your questions. Don't forget to check our website www.mybrooklyninstitute.com. Come join our school and get home health aid certificate, as we like to believe changing lives one student at a time.
The Guyana Police Force today issued a wanted bulletin for Mwangi Smith in relation to the murder of Anthony Ains, called One Natty. The 29-year-old mechanic of Lot 10 Grams Hall, East Coast, Demerara, was shot dead on Sunday night at his home. According to a police report, their inquiries disclosed that Haynes resided at Grams Hall with his reputed wife, Ronette Abrams, a 26-year-old customer service representative, and their 2-month-old baby girl. According to Abrams, on the date mentioned, she was at home in the kitchen while Haynes was in the living room holding their baby and conversing with the 19-year-old suspect, who was at their home at the time. The woman told the police a short while after she heard Haynes saying "stop playing with the gun," then a loud explosion that sounded like a gunshot coming from the living room and the baby crying. On checking, she saw her husband lying motionless in a chair with a wound to his left side chest, holding their baby. The 19-year-old suspect was standing over him, with a handgun in his hand. She related that the suspect then took the deceased out of the house onto the road at Krongdam Industry, a few meters away from the home, where he covered him with a sheet and left him, after which he made good his escape. The police are reporting that the body of the deceased was examined and what appeared to be a gunshot wound was observed to his left side chest. One live .38 round of ammunition was found in the living room of the house. The police release explained that the deceased, along with the 2-month-old baby, were escorted to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival by a doctor on duty, while the baby received treatment for a wound to her right inner shoulder. The police are asking anyone who knows the whereabouts of the suspect to call 911 or the nearest police station.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
To tell you about my mom and how I lost her, it was a very hard reality for me.
I met Crystal through a friend who asked me to speak to her. The first time I saw her, my spirit just took a liking to her. I see Crystal as my daughter. I haven't given birth to Crystal, but I feel as if I do.
I felt alone. I got that support I needed from her.
I understand that Crystal was a lesbian. I choose to accept and embrace and love everybody. I'm a Christian and I believe we are all God's children. God loves everyone.
There's a time we all get educated enough to know that, you know what, everybody is just the same human.
She never questioned it. She just supported me right through it.
So I see her as a young woman full of potential.
Crystal and every gay and lesbian person should be treated with respect in Guyana.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions for you to check if you are listed and if your particulars are accurate. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2023, a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. For inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not in the PLE, apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were last registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person applying for a change or correction in his or her particulars must provide the relevant original documents: birth certificate and deed poll in the case of a name change by deed poll, marriage certificate and ID card in the case of name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who was registered in her married name but who is now desirous of returning to her maiden name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, naturalization certificate in the case of correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on January 15, 2024. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
The Guyana Police Force has issued wanted bulletins for 3 men in connection with the execution attempt of businessman Safras Khan. Khan was shot 3 times in July last year by a man armed with a high-powered weapon dressed in a yellow raincoat. That shooting took place in front of Khan's home in Austin Street, Camberville. The trio wanted for the attempted murder of Khan are Joel Sars, Shannon Wilson, and Lennon Messiah, known as Baby. They are all from North Ranville, Georgetown. The police are asking anyone with information that can lead to the arrest of the trio to call 911 or the nearest police station. There are reports that Khan had just turned into the entrance of his home when a gunman pounced on him. According to a police report, the victim claimed that he left his work site at Eccles on the east bank of Demerara around 19:50 and drove home. He said he observed a silver-colored Allion motor car driving behind him. As he turned into the entrance of his home and stopped, the motor car stopped and the suspect immediately exited the front passenger seat with a gun and opened fire while approaching his vehicle. The police retrieved 27.223 spent shells at the scene, and 13 9mm spent shells were discovered in the victim's car. For these and other stories, do visit us at our website www.rdproductiongy.com.